All right, folks, day 2 debrief. It's the morning of day 3, but we're breaking down day 2 for you. So we started in Raniwara and 271 Ks to Udaipur, which is where we are now in this beautiful location here next to the lake.
We had a beautiful dinner up here last night. That's two beautifuls in like 2 sentences.
So happy.
And you sound very croaky.
I'm a bit croaky.
Is that because?
Desert air and maybe some beer less.
The thing that I find is that you go from the heat, which is anywhere between 39, 42 degrees Celsius, and then you walk into a hotel like we got here. This hotel we have to show you, the one we had last night, was not the best. $17 compared to, I think, $75. If that. Yeah, so we thought we'd get something a little bit special, but the air conditioning in this place really works. So from Raniwara
to Udaipur.
Different setting, totally different setting. And I think one of the biggest highlights for us was we didn't hit anyone. And
no, we did actually.
Did we?
We might have clipped a couple vehicles on the
Oh, vehicles, yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. Another day.
But it was nice. We took off, and the terrain started to break from kind of deserty to into the mountains. There's some nice little green paths with some trees on the side, some mountains to go through. So it was nice. It was cool in the morning. So that's the key, I think, starting in the morning. You hear all that background noise? No, of course you don't, because nobody gets up early. So we're getting up early, and we're going to get out of this town because it's totally rabbit warren, tiny little narrow streets, rabbit warren. We barely got in here for dinner last night, but we definitely want to get out before the traffic starts.
We have to admit though, the place that we stayed in yesterday, although it was only $17, the thing that you'll find here is that when you drive a vehicle like we are, which is totally out of character, the locals come out and they just want to help.
My name is Om Prakash. I like Spook. I like G-Mann. Bye bye.
The friendliness and the outpouring of gratitude that these people have is probably second to none.
I see what you did there. Yeah, no, very generous people, very helpful, very curious. So every time we stop, we always draw a crowd of like 20 people in a matter of minutes, and they all want selfies with us.
New level yesterday.
Yeah, but I went to a new level yesterday. So took a bunch of selfies with this guy. You know, here's the weird white guy from Australia, and then he's like, video call, and I was like, what? And he's like, video call, and so he starts video calling all his friends, and we did like 2 or 3 video calls with his friends where he's just going, look, this guy's from Australia. So it's gone to a new level. So interesting to see what happens today.
Totally. So what our plan is today? Well, actually, let's stay with yesterday. Let's just stay with yesterday. We did do a trip to the Animal Aid Unlimited. And we got the t-shirt to prove it.
Donkey.
Cow. He is a bit of an ass, isn't he?
See what you did there.
And you're seeing some footage now of a little bit of what we did yesterday. What an amazing place that is. You'll see the full video probably tomorrow or the day after, but that is an amazing place. 3.5 acres of just dedicated land that they're leasing for about 20 years. I think they said they've got about 16 years left. They started off quite small. They went larger and larger. This is their 3rd place that they have. They do have another spot a little bit further away. But in this facility here were 800 animals. But within the 800 animals, 700 of them were dogs, and the rest were made up of donkeys. They even save birds, so they've got pigeons that they're saving. And once the pigeons are right, they kind of like let them go. I think a few of them were attacking us just now. And then they've also got the bullocks and some cows.
Donkeys?
Yeah, and donkeys. Yeah, all saving. So you'll see more of that tomorrow. But we are so proud to be able to sponsor those guys, and for the outpouring of gratitude that they show. And the pictures are just amazing.
It was an amazing experience. You know, in the West, the news cycle is taken up with bullshit, bad news, or it's taken up with news about stupid politicians or the Kardashians or whoever the idiot of the day is. But you never hear stories like these guys. These guys have so much compassion to take care of these animals that nobody else wants or nobody else cares about. Half of those animals there would have probably been euthanized in Australia or the United States easily. And they've helped over 100,000 sick and injured animals at that facility. Like Gerald said, ranging anywhere from dogs up to cows and water buffaloes and everything. Just the amount of compassion and the amount of compassion that they display in that place and care, amazing.
So you'll see some of the animals there that are suffering neurological diseases. You'll see some that obviously have had severe accidents. that their back legs are just incapable of using. But this is where a place like this comes in. They just look after them. And they're not going to let them back out in the streets, because one of the questions that I asked was, what happens when, say, a dog gets hit by a car or gets maimed, and they let them back out in the community, because although nobody owns the dog, the community owns the dogs. And so they grab the dog and they put them back into the community. And there was one great story, I think, of a dog called Pee-wee, who they rescued, they fixed, they put him back out in the community, which was a few kilometres away, from maybe 4 or 5 kilometres away. But what that dog then did was decided that he wanted to come back into the shelter, made its way back in, found its way in, and of course they're not going to just let the dogs come in, because it wouldn't be able to handle the different stress that it was under at the time before and the time now. So, where are we heading now?
I don't know. All right, so we're going to get out on the road in this little rabbit warren part of Udaipur that we're in. We want to get out of here before the traffic starts. We're heading south. Where to? We do not know. We don't have the slightest idea where we're going today.
Raniwara looked all right.
Yeah, what he said. So, but we'll figure it out on the road, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. And cheers, Rudy.
Cheers, Rudy. Look, I'm just keeping it with me because I know this is a very expensive Polish whiskey glass. Oops. Cheers, Rudy.
Cheers.
See you tomorrow.